Hello, you guys. I'm not going to be on long, like 45 minutes to an hour, 30 to 45 minutes. How are you guys doing tonight? I decided to get on. I've been busy working, like cleaning and organizing and all of that all day. I decided to take a break. Let's see how many of you all come into the room. Hey, Mr. Parker. How are you? Hey, ZK. Hey, Miss Shan. We're going to talk a little bit about President Trump tonight. Hey, Jamal, how are you? I really want to open up the lines and let people call in and express. Hey, I know this is a time where there are a lot of emotions, and there are a lot of African American people that did not want Trump to be elected. So I know it can be a touchy subject, okay? But I want people to call in and express how they feel without being too emotional. Like I said, everybody's opinion to them is valid, right? To them, it's valid. So, yeah. Hey, positive vibes, Kenny. We'll let some more people start coming in. You guys, there are already rumors and stuff out there about what Trump is supposedly doing, like some of the changes um, that he says that he's going to make. Now, allegedly, and I'm just reading what I've seen on social media and all of that. He supposedly signed an order immediately, or signed an order immediately stating that you're either male or female. You know, a lot of people are in a uproar with that because they're saying that he's taking us back, you know, not moving forward, not respecting the LGBTQ community, transgenders. He's, according to them, he's basically setting transgenders up to be, you know, hurt and nothing be done, I guess, in their opinion. Um, I don't know. You know, that's debatable. I don't. I agree too. I agree. You're either male or female. I don't think that saying that you're either male or female. Now, this is just my opinion. Um, means that you're setting somebody up to be hurt. So, Mr. Parker says he has already lifted the TikTok ban, which I think was bogus to make him look good for those who make a living off TikTok. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people saying that they think that a game was definitely played as it relates to that situation. So, hey, listen. Um, the TikTok ban was a YouTube play. Well, well, now that he's been elected, he's officially the president. What's next? You know, I think that's something that we need to think about. Um, as I've always said, as it relates to our community. Um, we kind of relinquish a lot of our power. You know, we're I think, you know, we kind of relinquish a lot of our power when we say, well, they're not gonna give us nothing. They're not gonna do this. I think we forget the power that we have. Even though they, we didn't get anything with Biden. We didn't get nothing with him. Okay. And it's because I think when, just let's just say if Kamala had been elected, I don't have any issues with Kamala. Um, well, yes, I did. I had some issues with Kamala. I'm not gonna lie. I don't hate Kamala, but I definitely had issues with some things that she did, and nothing as it relates to her personal life, because I know that people have talked about, she was a slut, she was this, and she was that. I don't subscribe to that because that's kind of what the go-to thing as it relates to women. When people have issues with women, the first thing that they do is, they try to shame them. But she was a slut. They don't know anybody that they've slept with, but that's the go-to thing, right? So nothing. Even if she had dated a married man, that's between her and whatever God she serves, right? Um, but I'm talking about as it relates to things that she's done while she's been in politics. Hello, Legends of Oz. As you know, since she's been in politics, I'm not saying that Trump is pristine or anything like that. But what I was saying last night was people vote their pocketbook, right? And I'm not voting for someone based on race. I have real bills with real overheads, right? And I think that sometimes I was talking to somebody today, we was kind of talking about that. People get so emotional, they don't even hear what you say if you're not saying what they want you to say. I was basically saying that I had made more money for the field that I was in up under Trump's administration. It didn't have anything to do with race. It didn't have anything to do with having an African American woman or having Biden in the White House, which I never voted for him. Okay. People talk about who they do their research on, but I don't think they did their research on Biden. See, we tend to do the research on the enemy, but someone that we're in favor of, we kind of just let them slide. I think if you're going to do the research, it should be all the way across the board, right? Because if research was done on Biden, I don't think people would have been as content with him also, right? And so now Trump is in the that's true, Mr. Parker. So now Trump is back in the White House. Okay. We've survived inflation, and somehow people blame Trump for that. Food has gone through the roof. It hurts me to go and pay 20 something dollars for a roast. Okay. Trump is in gas just started going down as it always do. Those are the types of games that they play with us whenever there is an election. They start to take gas down a little bit, so that they can get the votes. So listen, all politicians are politicians. They play games and things of that nature, but I listen, as I said before, I made more money up under the Trump administration. And because I have, bills to pay, I have to eat. I want to have a savings. I want to, leave something for my children. I don't want to have to, I don't want to have to, I'm not going to starve to death to just to vote for a party, a Democratic Party that has not served Black people any justice, right? None of them have, especially the Democratic Party. And the reason I say that because Black people have been Democrats now since I can remember, um, and I don't see where it has done us any good. The same things that was happening, they use fear tactics and all of that. I mean, I just don't see where we're any better off. Okay. Hey, Vanessa. She said Elon Musk is running this shit. Trump is just the face. Shout out to the Godmother. Y'all make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to the Godmother's podcast. Okay, straight from South Memphis. Okay, that's my best friend. So y'all go over there and subscribe to her, and see what she got going on. It gets real over there on the podcast. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Legends of Oz reacts says that Biden, in my opinion, is a demon. Um, you going live tomorrow? Okay. What you gonna be talking about tomorrow? That's where Cypress be cutting up. How Cypress be? I done asked her if her. Uh, I ain't gonna say nothing. I gotta wait until Cypress cause so I can mess with him. Um, but I'm not gonna say her and Cypress be they do a really good podcast. Okay, Mr. Parker told me don't get started. I ain't gonna get started. uh, Teresa said Trump scares me because he's evil and crazy and wants everything his way or no way. I guess it could be looked at like that too, Miss Teresa. So Teresa, do you think that Biden was a good president? All of the people in here that truly lived better when Biden was in office and feels that Biden was a good president, and you came up while Biden, your financial status totally changed for the better when Biden was in office. I mean, it's only 33 people in here, but I want to know. Just say something in the chat. If your life changed for the better when Biden was in office. Teresa says, hell no, just a better liar. Unfortunately, I don't think Biden remembers anything he did. G. Finley says, hell no. Y'all, brother Dwayne done made it. Brother Dwayne done made it in the building. Brother Dwayne says, my six-figure income doubled under Biden. You about the only one, Brother Dwayne. I ain't gonna even lie. Because I'm telling you, the people in my industry really suffered. I'm telling you, like it was definitely a drought. It was a drought. Shit, I had started taking cases I said I'd never take. I was tired as I don't know what, stressed out. The godmother says the IRS been rejecting a lot of returns. Really? Vanessa, why has the IRS been rejecting a lot of returns? Uh, Hustle Hard says it was plenty money when Trump was in office and the murder rate was down. It jumped up when Biden jumped in. Listen, Hustle Hard, I thought I was the only one that noticed that. I thought I was the only one that noticed that. And Vanessa, they said Texas gonna be different this year. Legends of Oz React says his administration gave the green light to castrate our children, took the Bible and prayer out of the school, let men compete in women's sports. I mean, it was a disaster that never should have happened. And people are okay with that. No man, I don't care if he identifies as being a woman, he is a man, should ever be competing with a woman in a female sports. Her body is a woman's body is made differently than a man. Okay. I said Donald Trump started a lot of individuals, black owned business because they didn't have the power or the money. At that time, Democrat is drained the swamp. I'm still under the 90s era with Joe Biden. Yeah, they probably are on the other channel, Mr. Parker. If you all can't see them, Angel the Real Boss says he didn't keep his word about the student loan. I've been mad about that. Teresa says I think Trump is a racist to all other races besides white, and he's so against gay people. Hustle says Harrison Bill Clinton was the president when they signed the crime bill. Yeah, and Biden played a really big part of that crime bill. And Biden has been the vice president and the president, and he did not reverse all of like those guys that are in jail for misdemeanors for life. All of them should be let out. I mean, they should be let out. These men have been in jail for what 20 something years or 30 years or more. I mean, they just took their lives. To me, that was like another form of genocide. So, yeah, it looks like we only gonna make 30 minutes tonight. I didn't even look at this thing before I got on, and the battery is down on it. He gave one of my friends a presidential pardon. Hey, Tyranny. Well, now, Vanessa, is this true? Vanessa in here. Vanessa does taxes. They're saying that Trump is saying that those men that pay child support will be the ones to carry the children on next year. Is that true? The men that pay child support will be able to carry their children, be able to carry the kids next year. Is that true? Now, I don't agree with that, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't agree with that. Because the woman takes care of the child. She's the custodial parent. She takes care of the child 365 days a year. No child support, no check a month could ever suffice what a woman does 365 days a year, all day, every day. I'm a mother. I'm a mother. I know that it does not. No check suffices what a mother does 365 days a year, all year, if she's the custodial parent. Legends of Oz reacts as Barack Obama. Um, I don't think I think Michelle is a woman. I don't think Michelle is a man. Uh, Positive Vibe says $50 or less in child support should not qualify at all. $200 a month, $300 a month, $400 a month. Because if they paying 400 a month, that means maybe he's meaning that they'll be able to get a tax write off. That could be what he means. Like if the kids are, if if they might be able to get a tax write off. Maybe that's what he's meaning. Yes, and the IRS rejecting for 1095A and too much Schedule C. Oh wow. So they've started Lord have mercy. With my two kids, I claim one and he claimed one. Um, that's what Teresa says. And the Mr. Parker says, that's your story, TT. You know good and damn well that's not every woman's story. Damian Clark says, definitely I can remember not being able to get toilet paper in 2020, amongst other things with Trump. And when Biden was in office, my six-figure salary carried more weight under the under with Biden. Really? Like I'm telling y'all, my businesses flourished up under the Trump administration. Hey, you're right. I mean, everybody's story is different. Definitely, I think that's why I say everybody's opinion is valid, because each of us have been affected in different ways, right? And for me, especially with the way things are, it's not enough to just be um a woman of color, because Kamala says that she is not black, right? So she has some type of ethnicity, okay? If I looked at her, I would think that she was black, but she said that she's not. But that's not the reason that I had issues with Kamala. I think, listen, I'm hard on everybody, but I think when you are a person of color and you um you know the abuse, the how the system has been set up, and the things that have been done to our people, and you get your ass in office, or you work your way up to the top by doing the same thing to our people that other people have done, I have issues with that. And I'm not forgiving at all. But of course, Kamala didn't have issues with coming up off of overcharging poor black men. And I'm not saying all those black men asses didn't need to be charged. But what I'm saying is she took advantage of overly charging black people that could not afford attorneys. I think it's another way to cause problems. Let's see if this right here works. Maybe, maybe not. She was the DA in the Rodney King's case. Was she the DA? Was she in LA? I have to figure out why this device is not charging. Hold on, y'all. Because I think we're having a good conversation. I hate to end it. Hold on, y'all. Let me see something. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for me. Hold on, I might be able to stay on a little bit longer. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Okay, can you all hear me? If y'all can hear me, let me know. Okay, good. Okay. I was able to log on on another device. So I think I'm gonna be able to stay on a little bit longer, which is good. Hold on, you all. Give me just a minute. Y'all make sure you all hit the like button, okay? Like, share, and subscribe, okay? I can't never find my mouse. And I like using my mouse. Hold on, y'all. Okay, y'all. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Y'all make sure you all hit the like button. Says good evening, Miss Tamara in chat. Trump is not my choice of a so-called president. He doesn't like black or brown skinned people. Teresa says, I think that Trump was bragging on the governor of Texas because he made it a law that trans can't get hormone treatment and made abortions illegal. Can't trust either one of them. Trump wants to be a dictator. Well, I was having this conversation with someone. I can understand. Um, abortions if the person was raped, if the person was if it was incest, which is still the same thing, the R word. If it's a health, your health is in jeopardy. But I just don't agree with abortions being a form of birth control. These people are getting pregnant and decide, I just don't want the baby. Then they go have an abortion and then they go get pregnant again before the year's over. Um, I just don't want the baby. And they're having abortions at 7, 8, 9 months. Um, so I mean, there are problems with that. I have issues with that. I think that she says I agree with that. Yeah. I just don't agree with abortions being used as a form of birth control when you can already be, proactive instead of reactive. Go get on some birth control pills, use some condoms. Damien says Kamala set up an incentive program and work release program for the 48 people who she sentenced. There were only 8 who didn't qualify because of the serious natures of the crime. When she do that? When she ran for president? So when did she do that though? Was it when she got into the presidential race? My likes up. I feel sick to my stomach about the new president. That's my guts. My guts way of trying to warn me to pay attention to everything around the world. Yeah. Like I said, everybody's opinion is definitely valid, you know. Hey, I think that I'm independent. Okay, I'm not Republican or Democrat. I was a Democrat my whole life. I still saw how my mom and them had to work hard, to have what they had, struggling, all of that stuff. Okay, so I mean, being a Democrat didn't do a damn thing for them. What's up, the Cyp dog? What's up, Cypress? Cypress, when you didn't come in here, I thought maybe you was over there on Godmother's podcast because you real tight with Godmother. Snoozy Cake says, Neo, we always come out on top. No need to worry. Get you a game plan. That's right. Get a game plan. Absolutely. I agree. Well, I guess some felons can get those government jobs now. I honestly think Trump going to change some things for the better. It sure can't get no worse. It sure. I can't understand. Like for me, I'm not racist or anything, and I think Teresa. I think Teresa, are you Hispanic or are you Caucasian? So I mean, I don't have any issues against anybody, but my issue that I had with the president of the United States was that with the president of the United States. Teresa, don't answer that because you're a human being, so it don't really matter what your race is. Don't answer that. You don't have to answer that. Um, my issue is when all of the immigrants was brought over and how much money they put out to the immigrants, but you got Americans that have fought hard for this country, that work every day and pay taxes. They barely making it. You got people living on the streets, homeless, and they bring people in from other countries and give them the American dream. They made the American dream accessible to me, to everybody else except for the Americans. And I think that is a betrayal. Okay. I think that it is a betrayal. She says, I'm American, Indian, German, and Irish. Okay. Snoozy Cake says, money going to be flowing again. Did anyone buy Trump crypto? I heard it was 18 cents when, and then it went up to $70 overnight. Imagine buying 100 shares. People woke up millionaires in crypto this morning. Um, they said Trump is responsible for this terrible inflation, all this stolen PPP and stimulus money is being repaired. So you think Trump is the reason that the food and stuff went up? I mean, it took a long time for the food prices and stuff that, I mean, you don't think giving all this money to these foreigners and giving them $9,000 a month and putting them up, renovating warehouses and stuff and putting them up and giving them health care insurance and all of that. You don't think that had anything to do with inflation? We can't put the cart before the horse now, JT. Crypto just sounds like another version of stocks, but if you don't cash it out at the right time, it's all a gamble. I promise you, if I woke up with a million, I'd have cashed it out immediately. She says them tariffs would take time for us to benefit from. The Black Barber says it's just going to be quiet, well, to the best of my ability. I'm trying to see how this is going to work out. Where is Vanessa at? I want to hear about these taxes. Uh, Vanessa, is Vanessa still up in here? Vanessa said they already giving her a hard time with preparing people's taxes. Teresa says, I think the best investment is gold right now. A lot of the Iranians have been investing in gold for a very long time. What's wrong? No, Black Barbie, go ahead. That's what we're all doing. Everybody's opinion is welcome. Listen, there are no right and wrong opinions when it comes to your opinion. Your opinion is how you feel. Like, we're all adults. That's why I say this is the real grown folks channel. Even if we get emotional, we're not going to disrespect each other. We agree to disagree and keep it moving. I mean, everybody was affected differently by the two presidents. That's why I didn't do taxes this year, shaking my head. People work my nerves. Like I'm not the one that went through training. People were getting $875 a week who had never worked a day in their life. Um, like Barbara, we came to the conclusion last night that all politicians are some BS. Yeah, they lie. They all lie, steal, and cheat. You all make sure y'all hit the like button for me, okay? Well, there were some people that was getting money. They was getting what was it that they was getting unemployment and they had never worked, and that's because the system they was basically stealing. It's snowing here. Wow. It's supposed to snow again. Y'all, it's so cold. Y'all, it is 3 degrees. Oh my God, no wonder. No, it's not. It's 22 degrees. And it's 22 degrees and it's gonna go down to 2 degrees. Oh my God. Now that's cold. And I just want to roll up under some cover and not come away from up under the cover until it gets warm. Trump was passing out that money during the pandemic. Neo said it's 10 degrees there, and he's in New York. Brother Dwayne says, I feel the same way. I feel about Trump pardon in those 1600 January the 6th thugs. It got down to 7 degrees last night and it felt like one. I think it's 12 degrees here now. Goldilocks, where are you at? Oh, you're in Kentucky. Yeah, it gets cold in Kentucky. Kentucky got a lot of mountains and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's 400 degrees here. I'm playing that Juve album. So do you all think that it's going to be worse, or do you all think that it's going to stay the same? I started investing into certifies of deposit at the credit union. I plan to open up a money market account soon also. Okay. Now that my dog got to go potty, if she can talk the way she looked me like, why are you punishing me? Yeah. My puppies was really, oh my God, they was screaming. They were all on top of each other trying to get back in. I'm sorry, I meant to say certificates of deposit. Okay. Vanessa must have left out. She left out the rich get richer and the poor struggle. No more middle class, pretty much the same. I mean, listen, this is just my opinion. I feel like Biden, when he got into the White House, one of his only goals was to wipe out the middle class. And that's exactly what he did. There is no more middle class. You're either rich or poor, and I'm not rich. So what you think I am? Okay. It's a lot of people having to rebuild. I mean, in my opinion, having to definitely rebuild. That man came through like a damn tornado. Um, Invest in ETFs. Say the same. Neither party has the people best interest at heart. Remember, right wing, left wing, same bird. Mm, okay. Where is Brother Muhammad at? He must have left. I mean, Brother Dwayne. Oh, okay, brother. There he is, Brother Dwayne. Was that Brother Dwayne that came here talking about he made all that money upon the bite? Stay the same. Okay. You all make sure y'all hit the like button. Teresa K says the only good thing Biden did was gave SSI a 8.3% raise. JT says Trump and the skunk has proven the judicial system is a joke. 32 felony convictions and elected president. The judicial system didn't just start being a joke with when it's been a joke. He said, I sure did. They was talking about how President Trump's wife was dressed. They tried to say she was dressed like a Nazi, but people were saying that that's just the style. Okay, that's what they're saying now. I don't know. Y'all let me know if y'all have issues with the sound.
Members of Congress. We see right there is Steve Scalise, who is the Republican majority
So if
leader,
y'all have
walking in.
issues with the
We've
sound.
seen some of the former speakers of the House that are there at the top of your screen. You see Kevin Kiley, who is a congressman from California, who I interviewed a couple days ago. Vince Fong, also a congressman from California, walking in. You see all these different members greeting each other. This will be a joint session, if you will, even though it's not technically a session between the House and the Senate. They're all invited. But you think about this, their staffs. There's Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader, who hopes to one day be the Speaker of the House, but is currently the minority leader. We expect to see the Speaker of the House any moment too, Mike Johnson. All of the Congress members' staffs all were assigned hundreds of tickets each. So all of them had hundreds of constituents that moved in together to Washington, spent a lot of money to be here, and are essentially literally out on the cold today of what's going on, lined with people. Instead, we see that parade empty, now moving past the Treasury Department and on their way to Capitol Hill. It'll be interesting to see if the amount of people that may be along the parade route hoping to see the motorcade, because this is the only thing that they can see. They're not able to get in here You think about Capital One Center, there's 20,000 people here, and there were some 300,000 people expected. So where's everybody else go? And maybe we'll see some of them lined up near Capitol Hill, but right now you don't see a lot of people on the streets.
No, that appears to be inaccessible to the public right now. Yeah, as we watch the presidential motorcade going to the Capitol for the inauguration, what a moment that we're looking at right now. Kind of an unceremonious exit from the White House, though, I have to add, between President Trump and President Biden.
Yeah, and you wonder also, like, what do they talk about in this scenario?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
What's the conversation like right now?
Conversation like
right now? Right. Inside that car, what is the conversation that's happening right now?
Or is it just cold silence?
I know that when reporters had asked President Biden what his message of the day was, he just said one word, and he said joy.
Yeah, I've spent time with both of these men, and both are incredibly charming. Joe Biden and Donald Trump in different ways. Both of them have very good sense of humor. Both of them are used to filling awkward spaces with comments. So it's hard to imagine that it is stone silence. You saw at Jimmy Carter's funeral, Donald Trump sitting next to Barack Obama, and the two of them laughing and joking together. Politics is.
I was trying to see what his wife had on. Y'all know it's cold. They said it's 51. I was looking at the temperature. It's 51 degrees in LA. Hold on. Let's see. In the- Hold on, you guys.
The rescission of 78 Biden-era executive actions, executive orders, presidential memoranda, and others. The next item, sir, is a freeze on all federal hiring, excepting the military and a number of other excluded categories, again, until full control of the government is achieved and we understand the objectives of government going forward.
Could you imagine Biden doing this? I don't think so. I don't think so.
The next item here is the withdrawal from the Paris Climate Treaty. And lastly, sir, before we go back to the Oval Office to sign a large number of other items, is a directive to the federal government ending the weaponization of government against the political adversaries of the previous administration, as we've seen.
Oh, wow. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. I tell you, it's been a lot of shit going on today.
$20,000 people to be on hand here later today when President Trump arrives. And I'm told by a Trump administration official that when Trump gets here, he will be signing a handful of executive orders.
They said Trump to end birthright citizenship for children of illegal immigrants, halt refugee flow. Hmm. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I don't know. Um, Snoozy says, I love how Trump was looking at the black preacher. I said, dude, hilarious. Damian Clark says inflation equals price gouging, mishandling of COVID pandemic led to the global phenomenon called inflation. Tariffs will only what's that? Exacerbate the inflation. Did he put Grant Cardone in a position? I know there were talks. Do y'all think Elon will run in the next election? If he run, it will be a waste of time. I don't think nobody's going to elect him. She said Elon wasn't born in the United States. Says Elon is from Africa. Hmm. Let me see something. Let me pull Elon up. Hold on, you all. Look, they're calling Elon the first buddy. He's the first buddy. Yeah, there are a lot of celebrities mad that Trump is in office. There are a lot of white celebrities mad that he's in office. Hey, Pretty Brown TV. Mm, well, like I said, now that he's officially the president, what's next? Listen, I know that there are only certain people that he can pardon, but he has a lot of influence, when it comes to only persons that the governor can pardon. Because I think people like C. Murder, it would take the governor of Louisiana. I hope that something gets worked out as it relates to that. I really and truly hope that C. Murder gets pardoned. Let's say Elon Musk is up there giving the Nazi symbol not once but twice. True bigoted symbol. Oh wow. Mm. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for me. That man served that man served a shit ton of time for something he didn't do. Yeah, they know that C Murder didn't do that. Um, and the way and I think one of the only reasons why they will not reverse that decision is because they know that they want to stick by it because they know that he could own the state of Louisiana. So rather than let that man out and risk getting a multi-million dollar lawsuit, um, they'll just keep him in jail as if his life is nothing. They've had him in jail for what, about 20 years now. And see, Murder's case is really weird the way that was done because there was a judge named Martha Sassoon. She actually overturned his conviction. She overturned it. And then they turned around and took him to trial and convicted him again. And it was based on her being brave enough to identify the corruption and all of that. That's it's just messed up on a whole nother level. And then after that, they didn't reelect her as judge. So anytime you dare do something brave to go against that corruption um that is put out there, then what they'll do is they'll try and work against you. I mean, they couldn't do nothing. She's still a lawyer, so she might make more money. Elon can't run because he is a foreign-born citizen. I wonder if he will free Larry Hoover. I don't know. How Larry Hoover has been in jail for how long? Larry Hoover has been in jail for what, 40 years? 50? He's been in jail. Hold on for a second, you all. Hold on, guys. Let me put some cover on my butt because it is cold. Moving. Oh, Lord have mercy. It is freezing. I had to make me some hot chocolate. Mr. Parker, I thought that was the campaign last time he was in office. I know Larry went to court last year, but I haven't heard anything else about it. Elon probably done did some experience on himself because why his back bent like that? Yeah, how long has Larry Hoover been in jail? Has he been in jail since like the 70s? Oh Lord, positive vibes. Mr. Parker says, I think OG will be home by 2026. He will be disgusted by the state of what he found it, though. Y'all hit the like button for me, okay? Like, share, and subscribe. Hey, listen, if you ask me, I don't think it could get any worse. Um, I'm not gonna even speak out those words that it could get worse, because words are powerful. I'm just looking for things to be better. You know, hey, I ain't got nothing to lose by believing things are gonna get better because, like I said, when Biden was in office, when Biden was in office, I mean, as far as me and a lot of other people that I know, like we really took a dive on quite a few things. So when Trump was in office, it was different. So that's why I say we can't get mad at people about their opinions because everybody's experience has been different. Yep, everybody's experience has been different. Hold on one second. Let me pull something up. Y'all, he just pardoned 1,600 people. He pardoned 1,500 people today. So he pardoned them today. 1,500 people. Snooze it when they get home and see how the BDs splintered off again and been stepping on the G's for years. Shaking my head. Yeah, he would not be happy. Mm. He said he gonna pardon straight drop. Maybe straight drop. Trump might not need to pardon a straight drop. Straight drop might pardon himself. You never know what you never know what's that situation. I'd um Susie Cake says, Mr. Pardon, I'm sure his son been keeping him abreast of what's going on. Mr. Parker be cutting up. He says Trump pardon straight drop. I tell you. Mm. Mm. Wait, y'all, hold on, let me see something. They did say Chicago gang. Okay, so let's read this. Here, I found it. It says Chicago street gang founder Larry Hoover argues he should be resentenced.
Chicago criminal legend Larry Hoover made his first appearance in court in more than 20 years today, albeit via video call. He told U.S. District Judge John Blakely that he's a changed man from the one who founded the street gang Gangster Disciples. His attorneys have argued that under the First Step Act, which former President Trump signed in 2018, Hoover should be resentenced. The judge asked Hoover's attorney to tell him, quote, how many murders do you think he's responsible for? Hoover's team has until October 7th to answer that question. To learn more about Larry Hoover, we spoke with John Seidel, a federal court reporter for the Chicago Sun-Times from the courthouse earlier today. And I started by asking him how he would characterize the significance of Hoover's appearance in court today.
It depends on your point of view. Some see him as the person who created a murderous street gang that continues to.
So you all can understand what they're saying? So is it playing really fast, Teresa? Y'all couldn't understand the audio? Okay, so it's sped up and it's choppy. Okay. So it says Chicago criminal legend Larry Hoover made his first appearance in court in more than 20 years today, albeit via video call. He told U.S. District Judge John Blakely that he is a changed man from the one who founded the street gang Gangster Disciples. His attorneys have argued that under the First Step Act, which former President Trump signed in 2018, Hoover should be resentenced. The judge asked Hoover's attorney to tell him, quote, how many murders do you think he's responsible for? Hoover's team has until October 7th to answer that question. Wow. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Oh, wow. It seems like to me the prosecutors are fighting to keep him in jail, and the judge too. Yeah, because they're going into people look at him as a hero and all of that. I think they feel they want to keep him in jail because they feel like if he started the gangster disciples and is thousands and thousands of gangster disciples, he would have too much control. When they think that people have too much control as this man would have, he would be, I guess iconic to a lot of these other dudes. He could still he could still be a shot caller, in which I mean he could do that from behind the bars, right? But I don't think they want him out because of the influence that they think that he has on so many black men. Okay. Yeah, they want to keep him in jail. They're not, it's gonna take somebody putting their foot down, because it looks like the judge, as well as the prosecutors, are trying to make sure they keep him locked behind the bars. Once a person goes to prison, it be hard to get out. The prison system doesn't want to let. Right, the prison system does not even want to let you out, especially if they have made a mistake. If there was any corruption, they don't want to admit to anything. There is a there's a case down in New Orleans. that I actually did a I know you all remember the case in New Orleans. Get ready to pull it up too. I'm getting ready to pull it up and let you all see it. It was a case in New Orleans, the Rogers Lacaze case. Based on how they depicted him on different shows, it was very one-sided. And what you have to understand is with a lot of these shows on TV is strictly for entertainment purposes only. So they will embellish and lie. They won't necessarily tell the truth. But there was a lot of corruption as it relates to that case. And I remember a young lady when I was actually preparing to do a show on that case because he had not ever did an interview. The first time he ever did an interview was on my TV show when his mom came to Memphis, and I ended up meeting his mom through Mac's mother. And it's very interesting. It is. It's really messed up how they did that. Antoinette Franks was a New Orleans police officer that kept getting rejected from the police department. She kept getting rejected when she tried to get into the police department because she could not pass the psychological exam because she was mentally twisted, right? And so what she did was she went to her own psychiatrist and got them to okay her, in New Orleans hired her. That was just really weird. Hold on. I want y'all to see something. Y'all let me know if it's choppy. It ain't no need in me pulling it up if it's choppy. I may have to wait until I do something else. What in the entire? Hold on. I guess it's not gonna play right. No, let me see. Y'all, if it's choppy, y'all let me know immediately if it's choppy, okay?
Louisiana Pardon Board refuses a new clemency hearing for death row inmate Antoinette Frank. The former New Orleans police officer is the only woman on death row. She was convicted along with Roger Lacaze. So this was back in 1995 for the notorious triple murder of a fellow officer and two young restaurant workers in New Orleans East. So Frank was one of 56 inmates on death row seeking clemency before Governor John Bel Edwards leaves office on January 8th.
honest, I love Goodwill. I love that you find treasures. And so going to Goodwill is how I kind of, instead of buying new, I try to find things thrifted.
I don't know. It's choppy. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Okay. There's no way that the attorney should say that he is responsible for any murders. That's ridiculous. How many did they prove that he physically did? Right. I agree, Neo. I agree with that statement. I agree with that statement. I don't know why this is doing this. I don't know why. Anyways, y'all, I enjoyed being on here. I had to get on tonight because I didn't do a video or anything today. So I knew that the inauguration was happening today. I just hope America is okay, be okay. You know, we survived. We survived. Oh wow. Yeah, here's Trump's wife outfit. Here it is right here. Make me to fall in love. They talk about how Trump's wife look. Trump's wife. They say she looked like she unhappy all the time. It's the MLK Day was the shout out to Martin Luther King, of course. MLK Day was today or is today. Dr. Martin Luther King, and I wish, you know what? I wish that it wasn't choppy. I don't know what in the hell going on. Um, hold on, you all. Hold on, I can pull it up from somewhere else. Hold on, let me try something else. Y'all, I haven't been on Facebook today. I missed a lot. Lord. Hold on, y'all. Y'all hit the like button for me. What you want to do for love? Oh my God, the girl is crazy. Mentally ill. Mentally ill is not the word. Hold on, y'all. Let me see something. If I can find it, y'all. If I can't find it, I'm not gonna hold you all. Hold on, let me see something. If it gets choppy, y'all tell me.
Was an immigrant somehow, not easily, but somehow got around it. Is it just the fact that Negroes are black?
White America must see that no other ethnic group has been a slave on American soil. That is one thing that other immigrant
Y'all, let me know if it's
groups haven't had to
choppy.
face. The other thing is that the color became a stigma. American society made the Negro's color a stigma. America freed the slaves in 1863 through the Emancipation Proclamation of
What
Abraham Lincoln.
question did you ask me,
Gave the
90s? I
slaves
didn't
no
hear
land,
it.
or nothing in reality, and as a
What you
matter
say?
of fact, to get started on it. At the same time, America was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that there was a willingness to give the white peasants from Europe an economic base. And yet it refused to give its black peasants from Africa, who came here involuntarily in chains and had worked free for 244 years, any kind of economic base. And so emancipation for the Negro was really freedom to hunger. It was freedom to the winds and rains of heaven. It was freedom without food to eat or land to
Y'all,
cultivate.
let me
And
know if it's choppy.
therefore, it was freedom and famine at the same time. And when white Americans tell the Negro to live,
What is it about the Negro? I mean, every other group that came as an immigrant somehow.
Hold on, you all. Y'all, was it choppy? Can y'all hear me? Because nobody is commenting. Was the video choppy? Now, Beast, what did you ask me? I don't remember what you asked me from the last video. We was talking about a woman being the head of the military, and I asked you how weird would it be for you to see a woman as a head coach for an NFL team? It would be extremely weird for me because, I mean, this is just how I feel. I don't think that women should be out there playing football. I mean, I just don't believe that. I don't believe that women should be tackling each other and playing football, and I don't believe that a woman should be a coach for a football team. That's a male sports. That's a male sport. I mean, call my way of thinking antiquated, but that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. But as far as a woman being over a military, we have women that are high ranking in the military. They are very strategic. I think that a woman, I mean, if we can have high ranking women in the military, I don't see why a woman shouldn't, I don't see how she couldn't be the head of a military. I don't know. That I disagree with. I think that a woman can be the head of a military. It's a lot of women, but as far as getting out there tackling and running for a football and button heads and stuff like that, no, I don't. Mm-mm. Well, maybe it is, 9 piece. I don't think that it's a contradiction. I don't. It was choppy. I don't know why it's choppy. That's what's got me so upset. Why is it choppy? Okay, so tell me, y'all, if it's still choppy.
And the economic problem is probably the most serious problem confronting the Negro community. And I might say the most serious problem confronting poor people generally. And I think the time has come to bring to bear the power of the direct action, the nonviolent direct action movement, on the basic economic conditions that we face all over the
Y'all
country.
tell me if it's still choppy.
New beginning on the economic front. We've dealt with the social president.
Okay, he says choppy and sped up. I don't know what's making it do that. Anyways, you guys, he said he said God making it do that, but I would like to definitely take this moment to remember Dr. Martin Luther King, and he definitely gave his life fighting for the future of our people, right? And I think that, just when we look at like where what things have come to, it is extremely hurtful. I know he has to be turning over in his grave. When you see how Black people are just killing each other, taking each other out, digging graves for other Black people, this man basically gave his life for nothing, right? Because he could have stopped at any time, when they started trying to kill him and all of that. But he had a dream, right? He had a dream, and he woke up from that dream, um, um, and started to become more strategic. And I tell people, Dr. King didn't die because he had a dream. He was killed because he woke up, right? And I was looking for that video, but because it's not acting right, it's not going to show right anyways. And I think that's something we need to remember. And I think that's one of the reasons why I have a dedication, even when I feel weak, and I start. Um, Putting things together to continue on with my dad's organization. Um, hey, every time I start, I stop because I start thinking about my dad is not here, and this is something that my dad that we started that he started, and for me to continue it on without him is extremely painful to me. And so I'm so happy I have my aunties, my dad's sisters, to say it is absolutely essential that you carry on the legacy that your father started. As far as continuing on the legacy, I think I was remember telling you all of Miss Cornelia Crenshaw. And that is who the organization is dedicated to, building other women in our community, making sure we keep her legacy alive so that other women can have the opportunity. We can bring back to life the legacy of a African American woman who was dedicated to being a civil rights activist in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, that actually marched with Dr. King when Dr. King came to Memphis for the sanitation strike. Miss Cornelia Crenshaw was the female, African American female, that got him here to Memphis. And not only that, but Miss Cornelia Crenshaw coined the phrase, "I am a man," okay? Because Miss Crenshaw was a strong African American woman, just like so many other strong African Americans, they wrote her out of history. And she was my dad's mentor. She taught my dad politics. She prepared my dad to run for office, right? Because of her teachings, my dad was elected more than anybody in his position. So my aunt's all right. Even though it's hurtful and it's painful to me, it's going on 2 years that my dad has been gone. My dad and I talked at least 3 times a day. My dad was teaching me politics for the last 10 years. And it is essential. It's essential to carry on that legacy because it's not about me and the hurt that I feel that my dad transitioned, right? My dad took a walk that we all got to walk. None of us are getting out of here alive, right? But it's about leaving a legacy behind so that African American women can understand where they came from and whose shoulders that they stand on, right? And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't have any tolerance for sellouts, because I'm harder on Black people that are sellouts because of the conditions that our people are in and have been in for a very long time, right? So I'm gonna bring that to life, and I'm proud to be have learned firsthand from a man who actually sat in the house with a woman, who even back in the 60s. And I think it's just time for our people to change. My dad says that Miss Crenshaw, I don't, I remember my dad going to Miss Crenshaw's house. She lived on Van Street. And before my dad passed away, my dad went, they tore her house down, right? And my dad went over, there's this church that bought the land that her house was on. So my dad went over to the church and asked the owner of this church if if he would sell him the land, right? Now this man bought the land for a little bit of nothing. There's nothing on the land. But it would have helped his church. And he gave my dad an astronomical number. Okay. And then he turned around and told my dad, because my dad was going to rebuild Cornelia Crenshaw's house the exact way that it was built. It was a 2-story house. Okay. It was a 2-story house. I want to show you all. Hold on. When my stepmama and them started trying to destroy everything as it relates to what my dad was doing, a lot of that stuff we still have the picture. I still have the pictures and stuff on a download, but her son-in-law, she had him to delete everything. Now he's sitting over there supposed to be a preacher, and they got the nerve to be evil. But I mean, he was scared. He had cancer at one time. He better hope it don't come back, evil bastard. And then got the nerve to be over a church. Okay, needs to be worried about why he got his wife over there. Lord, forget, Lord, hold my tongue. But while he's sitting trying to dig ditches, and he called himself a preacher, he needs to wonder why he ran his damn wife crazy. That is what he needs to be concerned about. Hell, okay. I can't stand evil people. They got the nerve to be evil and then be sick. Hold on one second, you all. Y'all, when I get mad, I don't hold back. Okay, I know he's obsessed with me. Hell, he married to my motherfucking sister. I don't know why he obsessed with me. He need to be trying to get his wife healthy. My sister went and married that damn crazy ass bastard, and he's supposed to be over a church. And now her mind, she's mentally insane. My half sister. So instead of worrying about the strong minded sister, see people. Let me just say this. I got to say this because I know they be watching. Okay, what he needs to do is, while he over there over that church, he need to be trying to get his wife healthy mentally, right? He always had issues with me. Sometimes there are men who are controlling of their wives, and they have issues with women in the family that can't be controlled and is not and is mentally sane. Okay, so you done ran your motherfucking wife crazy, bitch. And you got issues with me. You got some type of obsession with me because you know I can never be controlled. Ever. And so what they did was, because in my dad invested all of the knowledge in me, maybe because he knew I wasn't weak-minded. Okay. They decided, especially with him. Now, what he needs to do is he needs to go find his daddy, right? He needs to find his daddy because he got father issues, and get his damn wife some help. Okay. They tried to destroy my father's legacy, right? They tried to destroy it because they said he invested everything in his oldest daughter, and he didn't invest anything in, I guess they feel like he didn't invest enough in his wife's children. Okay. And so what my stepmother did, even on her sick bed, she's sick as she can be, ought to be trying, and she been an evangelist her whole life. She's sick. The lady ain't on her last leg. She on toes. She said, because my daughters don't have this knowledge and he left her to be a leader, I'll destroy his whole legacy. And she had her motherfucking son-in-law who is supposed to be a preacher that has ran my half sister stone crazy. to help her destroy everything. A straight betrayal to her husband and my father. I've been quiet for 2 years because I've had to try to digest this shit to keep from going off on them motherfuckers. Okay. But what he need to do, motherfucker, instead of being obsessed with me, get your wife some help because you ran a stone crazy. Me and your wife got different mothers. I'm totally different than your wife. I will give you the cussing out she probably should have gave you. She'd have her damn mind. Okay. I get mad every time I look at what my dad did and them motherfuckers went and deleted it off the internet. But that's okay, bitch, because I got money. Okay. I knows how to go. I got the blueprint to everything, you black ass motherfucker. It's going right back on the internet. And then it's supposed to be a preacher. Oh, that makes me mad as fuck. A man that worked hard his whole life to build something and these jealous ass motherfuckers destroy it. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Oh, it makes me so mad. I'm not gonna say anything else though. About that. Y'all forgive me. I just had to let that out. I be getting mad every time I think about it. I think I've been quiet for 2 years, just holding everything in, saying, okay, what can I do? That's her husband, but that's my motherfucking daddy, and he was my daddy before he was ever that lady's wife or husband. He was my daddy first. You knew he had a daughter, lady, before you married him. And you get mad because you feel like he loved his oldest daughter too much and he invested everything in her. And I got kids with him. That's why these men got to be careful about these women that they marry and they already have children. Because they'll be secretly jealous of your other children. Okay? They'll be secretly jealous of them. And they'll do everything they can to try and destroy it when you dead. So I'm tell you, but I'm gonna stop. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm sorry. I just get mad. I do. I just get mad. But I already know that they're gonna reap what they sow. They're gonna reap what they sow, and and guess what? They still can't stop me. Okay, I'm not gonna even talk about Miss Crenshaw. Y'all, I think I ruined it. I'm sorry. I wanted to show y'all some stuff. Because it was stuff all over the internet about her because my dad had put a whole lot of stuff all over the internet about her, and they've gone through and deleted it. So now what I got to do is just start uploading stuff again. I still got it. I just got to upload it again. Um, he says, "What Govan did today?" I don't know what Govan did today. He probably in the bushes. Y'all know Govan is a fan of the show, so he probably in the bushes. So I don't know. Y'all know his brother be over here. Yeah, I apologize. I get so frustrated, and I've been holding back for 2 years. I can't hold back anymore. Oh, it's just disgusting to me. What did I cook today? I made a what I always cook. I did a roast, and that roast was so good. I'm telling y'all, it was. Yeah, his brother be over here. Y'all know Stanley Govan. Now, some people say it's Govan himself. I don't know though, because when I went and listened to one of Stan G's, when I went and listened to one of Stan G's, lives, it sounded like the voice could have been different. But then I have people to come into the chat and say that that is Govan himself. you know Maybe it's his brother, like he say, maybe it's him. But either way it goes, he hadn't been Like he hadn't been disrespectful, just at one time, and we had to, we said something about it because I don't ever want my ladies to ever feel disrespected. And he apologized, and we moved on. Of course, his brother Stanley. He say that it's Stanley. He say his name is Stanley. I don't know. Some people say it's Govan. I don't know though. I don't know because I've never talked to Govan, so I wouldn't know. He said on rump roast, something like that. Yeah, I almost feel like I need to delete this live because I just kind of let out some hot air. I do. I feel like maybe I need to delete the live because I kind of messed it up when I got angry. The name of the show is Real Talk with Tamara. That's the name of the show. I feel bad now because I mean, when I started thinking about stuff with my dad and how hard he worked and the betrayal of his closest family members, I just get really angry. I just get really angry. And I'm not worried about none of them stepping to me because they know better. So I'm not thinking about deleting the live because they gonna see it because I gives two don't get do they don't want to tangle with me. They wouldn't dare call me and say nothing. Snoozy Cake says it be like that. I've been getting my father's stuff in order because he married his damn enemy. My dad didn't know he was married to a snake all those years. He didn't know it. Um, anyways, you guys, I enjoyed being on here though. He didn't know that she was trying to destroy his legacy because he invested a lot in his oldest daughter that he had before he married her, you know. And that was some real talk. We good with it. We just on your side and don't want you to upset. Thank you, Mr. Parker. I appreciate that so much. But anyways, you guys, what I was saying before I got emotional, I feel like, like my dad's sisters keep saying, I need to continuously push that with Miss Crenshaw. I am over the organization. I'm the CEO now. So yeah, I'll do that. I've been thinking about some stuff that I want to incorporate to reintroduce some stuff. I got to redo the logo because now I got to incorporate my father into the logo because now he's no longer here. So he continued Miss Crenshaw's agenda of educating the African American community and giving back to the African American community. And I think that is only I guess it's only right that I continue on doing it, you know. It's only right. Mm. Yep. Anyways, you all, listen, we definitely got to remember to, what I was getting ready to say was that when I used to go and spend summers with my dad would always pull up on Van Street to Miss Crenshaw's house. And my dad was going to recreate her home and make it a museum. It was a big 2-story home. And so the pastor didn't want to, he wanted to give my dad an astronomical number. And then he turned around and told my dad, listen, go ahead and build her museum and I'll rent the land to you. I guess he thought my dad was a damn fool, right? So that they could own the prop, they can own what my dad built, right? And so that didn't work out. So he ended up buying another museum in downtown Memphis. He had started renovating everything, made it very beautiful, and then um was very excited because a lot of Miss Crenshaw's antique furniture and stuff, for some reason she wanted my dad to have it, and my dad kept it in storage. She gave my dad a lot of notes. She was real good with documenting. So a lot of history. Like my dad always kept that stuff. Like all of her notes that she kept of crooked politicians and a lot of the conversations that she had had with Dr. King. And here's one of those conversations my dad said that Miss Crenshaw had said to him, that when Dr. King would come to Memphis, because like I said, she got him to Memphis for the sanitation workers, right? And he would stay at her home and she would drive him around. And she said that Dr. King, when he stayed at her home, he expressed to her how hurt and disappointed that he was because he knew that he had Judases in his camp. It was more hurtful to him that he had Judases in his camp that looked like him, you know. Um, which is a sad thing, you know, which is a very sad thing. So he had all of those conversations with Miss Crenshaw. Miss Crenshaw was even older than Dr. King, right? So anyways, my dad just wanted her legacy to be continued because he says that my dad has all daughters. And so he said he wanted for all young African American women and older women that they remembered her, the older ones, to see that you can be classy, you can be bold, and you can be fierce, and you don't ever compromise the future of your people for nobody. And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't bend. There's a lot of there are a lot of times that I probably could have sure had a lot, but I've always taken the long routes. The because I don't want to cut corners, because I refuse to sell out. You think about a time now where our people are just so divided and ungrateful. as it relates to or I'll say disrespectful as it relates to each other, right? Um, so you see so many people selling out. So, um, hey, my dad was my protector and he was my strategist, and I just felt like he could think his way out of anything. He could think circles around anybody. He was just a strategist, right? And so not to have him as my protector when you go into the lion's den, you know, especially in a male dominated society, as it relates to a lot of the stuff that I gotta do is it can be something else, because I knew if I got mad and cussed somebody out, my dad was gonna make it right. You know what I mean? Like if they don't do it for me, my dad will do it for me. So I don't have that now. So I have to work on myself because my nerves is bad. Okay. Betty Jones says, "Hello, Tamara and family. Tamara, you got this. It will work out just fine. Yes, your dad taught you well, and his radio TV fans. We got you and believe in you. Thank you, Miss Betty Jones. I appreciate that so much. I miss my dad on the radio. Me and my dad was a team on the radio. I remember we got kicked off of a radio station because they said we was too radical, child. They kicked us off. My dad had paid up they had to reimburse him all of his money because he would pay up for like 6 months at a time. So my dad called me and said, "We got an email saying that they kicked us off the radio." I said, "Really?" He said, "They said that we are too radical." Well, we was putting the truth out there. We was exposing some stuff. And they didn't like that, but we was on another radio station the next week, so they still didn't stop nothing. My dad was like, he had started getting sick. I didn't know that. He was like, "I tell you what I'm gonna do." The radio station that we went to after that, he says, instead of going over to the studio, I'm gonna just go ahead and have somebody to come in because the guy was like, you could actually do your radio show now from anywhere. And so he said, I'm going to go and buy everything that's needed and I'm gonna put it in your studio, all of the equipment and stuff. Oh, don't get me started about it. I tell you. He says people can't handle they definitely can't handle the truth. Mr. Parker says the truth is always radical to those who are content living in a lie. Yes, it is. I tell you, I miss that man. I do. I miss him so much. I miss him so much. Believe it. I told y'all I do believe that, I believe in reincarnations and stuff, but I do. Um, I promise you one morning I was sitting on the couch looking up at the TV, drinking my coffee, and there was this red bird. It's been probably about 3 weeks to a month ago. There was this red bird that came and um was pecking on my patio window and just kept pecking until I looked at him. I was like, wow. And he just stood there. He did not fly away. He stood there looking at me for a long time. I was like, wow. And I was always taught that when redbirds came to visit you, that was like a relative or something. So I'm serious. I was like, I just kind of felt like that was my dad coming and chilling with me. He has not He used to come and visit me in my dreams a lot, and I think it was because I was not okay. He would visit me in my dreams a whole lot. He has not visited me in my dreams lately, and I be wishing to see him. I be wishing to see him in my dreams, but it's been months and months, maybe like a year, almost a year, and I be wishing that he would come to me in my dreams like he used to, but he don't. Snoozy Cake says one stay outside by my house. Oh wow. And I don't even see red birds often. I don't. That was the first time I had seen a red bird in a very long time. He was not even scared or nothing. He was pecking on the window, and once he got my attention, he just stood there. He didn't even peck on the window anymore. He just stood there. So I said I was gonna start. There's this Iranian lady. Well, I don't like because I love her. Her husband and her they're so awesome. Her husband is a judge. They're so wonderful. But she says that her family, her mother and father says that if you feed the birds, then you'll always have money. Maybe I thought about that. I think I'm gonna start putting some bread out there. I guess if you feed the birds bread, bread comes to you. We call money bread now, right? But I don't have no issues with feeding the birds though. Um, as a matter of fact, I started doing it one time before I went and bought some sunflower seeds, and they didn't eat them. So I found that weird because they was like, you're supposed to feed birds sunflower seeds, and I put sunflower seeds down on the ground, and they did not eat them. So I guess they didn't want. I don't know. They didn't want them. When my granddaddy passed, one came by very often. When my mother died, it's literally one every day here. Oh wow. That's something. My great aunts, like people feel like I do. Listen, I believe in all of that. Visitations from because we're spiritual beings. That's what people forget. No, they don't. And her food used to. Oh my God, her food used to be so freaking good. Her food is delicious. I'm telling you, her food was good. Um, yeah, Mr. Parker, terrible. One of my great aunts, Trump put his stop to girl on girl and men on men. He got tired of seeing that. Um, one of my great aunts, my grandmother's sister, she was my favorite aunt. Like my mother was her favorite niece, and I guess because my mother was her favorite niece, I became her favorite great niece. She lived in Indiana. She used to always smoke Camel cigarettes. And so we called her Aunt Ida. She always smelled like Camel cigarettes and coffee. She started me to drinking coffee. I used to love to go to Indiana because Aunt Ida was going to fix coffee and let me drink some coffee, okay? But Aunt Ida always smelled like Camel cigarettes and coffee. That's how she smelled. That's how her house smelled. I promise you, when Aunt Ida died, like it was like several times a week. Like I would wake up in the middle of the night and I could smell her scent. And I'm serious. And our house did not smell like that. I could smell her scent around my bed. WJJ says the sunflower seeds has to be unsalted. Oh, so maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was. They weren't unsalted. So I'll buy some more and put it out there, and then maybe they'll eat those up because they did not touch them. You make sure if you have the opportunity, because the weather is so cold, like if you have some extra money and you could buy some extra coffees. I asked y'all to do that before. Nobody sent me a picture, so I'm assuming nobody stopped at McDonald's or at Burger King and got coffee for the homeless. But if you can, if you got some extra money, make sure you stop and get some coffee, some hot coffee for the homeless if you see them out there. I've been doing it, of course. And if you see some animals, in this cold and they seem to be wandering around, nowhere to live, call the animal shelter so that they can get them because it's too cold for animals to be outside. And if you got some food in your car, instead of throwing it out, just throw it out to the animals so that they can eat, because they may be hungry or something like that. But definitely, if you see homeless people and you see them sleeping outside, tomorrow, I know I got to work at the federal building tomorrow, so um I'm going to make sure I stop and get coffee. Like I'm going to get like 10 to 15 coffees. And if you get a small coffee, they're $1 at McDonald's. So that would be if I get 10 to 15, it'd be like $15. Um and then or I may just get 10 coffees and $10 sausage sandwiches. That would be a $20 bill. That's it. And I could leave them a sausage and biscuit sandwich out there, and I'll leave them some hot coffee out there. Oftentimes, they sleep on the bridges. Now, I do know that there are a lot of homeless people that have mental illnesses. So I never get up close to them. I always like put the coffee and stuff on a bench and let them know it's food and hot coffee right here, and they'll all if they're in the park, because oftentimes they sleep in the park, they'll come and get the coffee and the sausage and biscuit, from out of the bag. Everybody get one. The only thing that's sad about that is like it's more and more homeless people, and you know, everybody may not get one. So if you just got some extra money and like before you think about throwing food out, like if you got some food in a bag that's in your car or something like that. Most people don't really keep food in their car. I hope not. But if you got some food, if you're eating before you throw the bag out, if you see a puppy or something, a dog or a cat, throw it out that way. Don't throw out the whole damn bag, but because that's against the law. But you can throw the food to them and let them finish eating the rest of the food, right? If they're wandering around, it takes nothing to call the animal shelter so that you can help the animals to get to. They go to a shelter and then they're in a warm place, right? Y'all stop being mean to animals. Stop being mean to animals. Stop being mean to other people. I don't like evil people, right? I see people that are cruel to animals for no reason. Animals have feelings too. And stop being mean. We got to start, treating each other fairly. If you ain't gonna treat them right, at least treat them fairly. Stop intentionally being mean and evil to folks. You get nothing out of life by doing that, right? Right? Stop thinking more about yourself and start um understanding that the world does not just revolve around you or I or you know it's it's other people in this world, right? So anyways, y'all, I'm gonna get off of here. I think I've vented enough for tonight, child. I kind of feel bad that I let that out because sometimes people be in the bushes, and if they have an obsession with you, I understand why these men be having. Oh, oh, mm, oh, mm, mm. Mr. Parker says because ain't no such a thing as extra money. It ain't no such a thing as extra money. Mr. Parker, I mean, don't speak that out. You're supposed to say, I have so much. Like, I'm tell y'all something that I be doing. Like sometimes when I be driving and I see trees, be calling that out. Be looking at a tree. Sometimes I can see a big old tall tree, like with a lot of, like it's big and tall with a lot of leaves and stuff on it, like limbs and branches. And I be going, that tree right there, money grow. That tree right there is growing money for me. Money, money trees grow for me. Trees are growing right now that's going to produce me with all of the money that I want and need. Money trees grow for me. I say that all the time. Money trees grow for me. And it seems like when I say that, I be having an abundance of it coming in, but child, it goes back out. I got to figure out a way to keep it in. It comes in. I got to figure out a way to keep it in. I done told y'all, the more money you make, the more goes out. Because I be having them overheads. I got too many overheads. That's because I be constantly trying to update stuff. And I go, as soon as I pay something off, I go, I'm gonna update that. And then I'll get right back in debt again. I'm gonna update it. I got this. I'm gonna update that. I'm gonna update this. I'm gonna update that. So I gotta start calling money in. And I calls it to me. Money likes me. Okay, but it likes to go visit other places too. Stay off them high heel shoe sites. Yeah, but the high heel shoes is not what's doing it. But I mean, yeah, I stay off the high heel shoe sites, but the high heel shoes is not what's, that's small money. Snoozy Cake says, I see Cypress on. I gotta go show him love before I go to sleep. Okay, Snoozy Cake. Anyways, you guys, I'm getting ready to get off. He said you won't, but okay. No, I'm not. I ain't gonna even tell no lies. I was looking at some heels today that I wanted to order, and I'm probably gonna order them before I go to sleep. Some stiletto heels. Okay. Anyways, you guys, I enjoyed being on here with you all tonight. As usual, as always, you all absolutely rock. I appreciate you all supporting the channel. I want you all to please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel, you get up the super thanks or the cash app. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Have a good night, okay? I love you all.